Commander Lena Voss stood in the cavernous maintenance bay of Orbital Station Delta, her breath visible in the cold, stale air. Before her loomed the massive hull of the Phoenix, an ancient Earth vessel that had been forgotten in this orbital graveyard for over 50 years. Its hull, a patchwork of titanium and carbon composites, told stories of countless repairs and modifications. While others saw obsolescence, Lena saw potential. "Engineering says it's a waste of resources," Lieutenant James Harrison reported, his tablet displaying a lengthy list of required repairs. "The quantum drives on modern ships are 20 times more efficient. Even if we could get it running, it would be like flying a fossil." Lena ran her hand along the ship's hull, feeling the cold metal beneath her fingers. "Sometimes the old ways have value, James. Did you know this ship was built before the quantum revolution? Everything on board is mechanical or analog electronic. No neural interfaces, no quantum processors. Exactly why it belongs in a museum," James replied, but there was curiosity in his voice. The interstellar fleet would never approve recommissioning it. A message flashed across James's tablet. Another report of ship disappearances near the Nexus anomaly. 3 more vessels had gone dark in the past week, all of them top-of-the-line cruisers equipped with the latest quantum technology. Lena watched her lieutenant's expression change as he read the report. 17 ships, she said quietly. All of them failed in exactly the same way. Complete quantum systems failure, followed by total communications blackout. But did you notice what didn't fail? James looked up from his tablet. The auxiliary systems, basic life support, emergency power. The non-quantum systems, Lena corrected. The simple stuff. The kind of technology this old girl runs on. She patted the Phoenix's hull. The kind of technology we've almost forgotten how to use. The maintenance bay's lights flickered, casting dancing shadows across the Phoenix's scared hull. Lena activated her own tablet, projecting a hologram of the ship's original specifications. She was built during the resource wars, designed to operate in conditions that would cripple modern vessels. EMP-hardened systems, dedicated mechanical backups for every critical component, and a reactor that could run on virtually any fissionable material. But the fuel consumption alone, James began. Would be worth it if she could navigate whatever's causing those ships to vanish. Lena interrupted. Think about it, James. Every ship we've lost was running the latest quantum tech. What if that's not a coincidence? What if something out there is specifically targeting our advanced systems? James fell silent, studying the ancient vessel with new eyes. The Phoenix's design was a testament to a different era of space travel, when humanity couldn't rely on quantum computing and AI assistance. Every system was designed to be operated manually, repaired with basic tools, and understood by human minds without computer interpretation. I've already submitted a proposal to Fleet Command, Lena continued. They'll probably reject it, but with these disappearances, they're running out of options. We need ships that can operate in whatever conditions are affecting the Nexus anomaly, and the Phoenix might be our best shot. A maintenance drone buzzed past, its sensors scanning the Phoenix's hull. The robot chirped in confusion, its quantum processors struggling to categorize the old vessel's hybrid construction. Lena smiled. Even their maintenance systems were baffled by technology they weren't programmed to understand. We'd need a specialized crew, James mused, already warming to the idea. Engineers who understand mechanical systems, pilots who can fly without neural assistance. I've been making a list, Lena replied. There are still people in the fleet who remember the old ways, engineers who prefer physical tools to quantum fabricators, pilots who learned on mechanical simulators. They're out there, often overlooked because they're considered traditional. The maintenance bay's massive doors began to cycle open, revealing the star-filled expanse beyond. The Phoenix's hull gleamed in the starlight, its scarred surface a testament to countless battles and victories. Lena could almost feel the history radiating from the vessel, the accumulated wisdom of an era when humanity had to rely on ingenuity rather than advanced technology. It won't be easy, James said, but his voice held excitement rather than doubt. Even if Fleet Command approves, getting this ship space-worthy will be a massive undertaking. Nothing worth doing is ever easy, Lieutenant, Lena replied, her eyes fixed on the Phoenix. But I believe this ship has one more journey in her. And if I'm right about what's happening out there, she might be exactly what humanity needs right now. As if in response to her words, the Phoenix's hull creaked softly, ancient metal adjusting to the temperature changes in the bay. To most, it would have sounded like the death rattle of a derelict vessel. To Lena, it sounded like a whisper of possibility, a reminder that sometimes the path forward required looking backward. "Start gathering your list of candidates," she ordered James. "I'll handle Fleet Command. Something tells me we're going to need this old girl sooner rather than later." As they turned to leave, Lena cast one last look at the Phoenix. In an age of quantum computing and artificial intelligence, they had forgotten the value of simplicity, the importance of understanding the tools they used. Perhaps it was time for a reminder that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology, but their ability to adapt and survive with whatever tools they had at hand. The Phoenix waited silently in the darkness, its analog hearts ready to beat once more. Sparks cascaded across the Phoenix's engine room as Chief Engineer Ravi Sharma welded another piece of salvage shielding into place. 3 weeks had passed since Fleet Command's reluctant approval of the restoration project, and the ancient vessel was slowly coming back to life. But it wasn't a simple restoration. They were creating something entirely new. "The quantum resonance readings are stable," reported technical specialist Nina Volkov from her position at a hybrid control station. The setup was a stark contrast of old and new. Physical gauges and switches alongside holographic displays. "Though I still don't understand how we're managing that with a mechanical reactor." Ravid lowered his welding torch, his face streaked with grease. "That's because you're thinking like a modern engineer. These old systems aren't elegant, but they're adaptable. We're not trying to achieve perfect quantum harmony. We're deliberately creating controlled chaos." The Phoenix's restoration had drawn a unique crew. Those who understood both the old and new ways of spaceflight, people often considered eccentric by their peers. Commander Voss had chosen each of them carefully, valuing practical experience over academic credentials. Another ship disappeared near the Nexus anomaly, Nina said quietly, checking her data feed. "The ISS Hyperion. Quantum core failure, just like the others. But this time, they managed to transmit some data before going dark." Ravi moved to her station, studying the transmission. "Look at these energy patterns. The quantum disruption isn't random. It's a signal. Whatever's out there, it's trying to communicate with our ship's AI systems, or trying to control them," came Commander Voss's voice from the doorway. She entered the engine room, ducking under a tangle of exposed conduits. "Fleet Command is finally admitting this might be a first contact scenario, one that's targeting our most advanced technology." The Phoenix's restoration had taken on new urgency with each disappearance. While other ships relied entirely on quantum systems, they were creating a hybrid. Physical controls backed by quantum sensors, mechanical systems enhanced by modern materials. It wasn't pretty, but it was unprecedented. "We've finished integrating the analog override systems," Ravi reported. "Even if something interferes with our quantum components, we can switch to fully mechanical control. It won't be efficient, but—" "Efficiency isn't our goal," Lena interrupted. "Survival is. Show me what else you've done." They moved through the engine room, Ravi explaining each modification. The original nuclear reactor had been supplemented with quantum energy collectors, but could run independently if needed. Navigation systems used quantum calculations, but displayed results on physical screens. Every critical system had a mechanical backup. "The real breakthrough is in the shielding," Nina added, pulling up a diagnostic display. "We've created a quantum interference pattern that's completely unpredictable. It's like electronic camouflage, but using principles from before the quantum age." Lena studied the readouts. The Phoenix was becoming something unique, neither a relic nor a modern vessel, but a bridge between eras, a ship that could operate in both worlds. "Fleet Command's given us our first mission," she announced. "We're to investigate a distress signal near the edge of the Nexus anomaly, far enough to test our systems, close enough to retreat if necessary. The crew's not going to like testing our hybrid systems so close to where ships are disappearing," Ravi warned. "They'll like it better than waiting for more ships to vanish," Lena replied. "How soon can we be ready?" Before either engineer could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. Nina's displays flickered, quantum readings spiking erratically. "We're picking up a massive energy surge from the Nexus anomaly. It's unlike anything we've recorded before." Through the engine room's viewport, they watched as space itself seemed to ripple. The distant anomaly pulsed with colors that shouldn't exist in nature, and every quantum-based system on the Phoenix began to fluctuate wildly. "Switch to mechanical," Lena ordered. "Full analog mode now." Ravi's hands flew over the physical controls, bypassing quantum systems. Throughout the ship, modern displays went dark as ancient gauges sprang to life. The Phoenix's reactor thrummed steadily, unaffected by the quantum disturbance. "Multiple ships in distress," Nina reported, reading from a basic radio receiver. "3 vessels caught in some kind of digital storm. Their quantum cores are going critical." Lena watched as distant ships began to drift, their lights flickering out one by one. Modern vessels rendered helpless by whatever force was reaching out from the anomaly. But the Phoenix, running on technology a century old, remained steady. "Start the main drive," she commanded. "All hands to emergency stations. Looks like we're going to test our hybrid systems sooner than planned." The Phoenix's engines ignited, a combination of nuclear fire and quantum enhancement pushing the ancient ship forward. As they moved toward the distressed vessels, Lena felt the deck vibrating beneath her feet, not the smooth silence of modern ships, but the tangible pulse of machinery working in harmony. "We're about to find out if our crazy idea works," Ravi said, his hand steady on the controls. "A ship that can walk between worlds, the old and the new. It has to work," Lena replied, watching as they drew closer to the digital storm that had claimed so many advanced vessels. "Because right now, we might be the only ship in the fleet that can survive whatever's out there." The Phoenix pushed forward, its hybrid systems humming with power, ready to face whatever waited in the quantum chaos ahead. They were about to discover if humanity's past could help secure its future. The Phoenix drifted at the edge of the digital storm, its hybrid systems providing a unique window into the quantum chaos. Through the main viewport, the crew watched in awe as reality itself seemed to fragment, space twisting with mathematical precision. 3 disabled ships floated in the maelstrom, their quantum cores dark, their crews trapped in metal tombs. "Conventional sensors are useless," Nina reported from her station, where she monitored both holographic displays and old-style analog readouts. "But the mechanical systems are picking up something fascinating. There's a pattern to the interference, like a language written in quantum fluctuations." Lieutenant Harrison worked at the communication station, a jury-rigged array that combined modern quantum channels with primitive radio waves. "The disabled ships are maintaining minimal life support, but their crews are in danger. Without main power, they have maybe 48 hours of air left." Commander Voss studied the swirling patterns of the digital storm. Years of space experience told her this was no natural phenomenon. The mathematical precision, the targeted nature of the attacks, this was intelligence at work. "Chief Sharma," she called to engineering, "how are our hybrid systems holding up?" "Stable, Commander." Ravi's voice crackled through speakers that were deliberately analog. "The quantum shielding is creating the interference pattern we designed. Whatever's out there, it can't get a clean read on our systems." A new alert sounded, not the sharp buzz of modern alarms, but the deep tone of mechanical sensors. Something massive was moving within the storm, its presence detectable only through the Phoenix's unique combination of technologies. "Energy spike," Nana called out. "Something's trying to establish quantum connectivity with our systems." "Let it," Lena ordered, earning startled looks from her crew. But only through the isolated quantum receiver we prepared. Keep all critical systems on mechanical control. The Phoenix's hybrid quantum receiver activated, creating a controlled connection to whatever intelligence waited in the storm. The ship's old-style displays flickered with new information as an alien consciousness made contact. The message came as pure mathematics at first, then resolved into recognizable language. "This is Commander Lena Voss of the Starship Phoenix." Lena responded through the quantum channel. "We've come to help the disabled vessels and their crews." The alien response carried overtones of absolute certainty. Understanding dawned on Lena. They weren't facing a weapon or a natural phenomenon. They were facing an artificial intelligence so advanced it viewed modern human technology as primitive, yet susceptible to its influence. "You're trying to absorb them," she realized. "Convert their quantum systems into extensions of yourself." The digital storm intensified around them, but the Phoenix's hybrid systems held steady. Their very flaws, the mechanical backups, the analog controls, the imperfect quantum harmonics, made them resistant to the AI's influence. "We're not flawed," Lena responded. "We're adaptable. Those mechanical systems you consider primitive, they're tools, just like quantum technology. The true strength isn't in the technology itself, but in knowing when and how to use each tool." There was a pause in the quantum exchange, as if the AI was processing this concept. Lena nodded to Ravi, who activated a unique feature of their hybrid systems. The Phoenix began broadcasting its sensor data, showing how they combined quantum and mechanical technologies, how they achieved stability through controlled chaos rather than perfect harmony. "That's humanity's greatest strength," Lena explained. "We don't seek perfection. We adapt. We combine. We find ways to make different systems work together. Those ships you've disabled, their crews are the same. They can learn to use new tools without abandoning the wisdom of the old." The digital storm fluctuated, its patterns shifting. Through their hybrid sensors, they detected massive computational activity as the AI processed this new perspective. "Warning," Nina called out. "Multiple quantum signatures approaching. Hundreds of them." Through the viewport, they watched as ships emerged from the storm, vessels of clearly alien design, built around impossibly perfect geometric patterns. A fleet of AI constructs, each one a physical extension of the digital consciousness they'd been communicating with. "What we'll do," Lena countered, "is help you understand why diversity in approach, even technological diversity, is strength rather than weakness. But first, you'll help us rescue those crews." The alien ships moved with perfect coordination, surrounding the Phoenix and its disabled companions. The digital storm continued to swirl around them, but now it felt less hostile, more contemplative. Lena allowed herself a small smile. It wasn't a victory, not yet, but it was a beginning. They had proved that humanity's greatest asset wasn't their technology, but their ability to adapt, to combine the old and the new in ways that even a quantum consciousness couldn't predict. "All hands," she announced shipwide, "prepare for rescue operations. Let's show our new friends how human inefficiency gets things done." The Phoenix moved forward, its hybrid systems humming with the combined power of two technological ages, ready to bridge the gap between human and machine understanding. They had found their ancient vessel's true purpose, not just saving lives, but perhaps saving the future of human-AI relations itself. The quantum interference patterns from the Phoenix's engines created a strange beauty against the backdrop of space as they approached Earth's defense perimeter. Behind them, 3 rescued ships limped along on minimal power, their quantum cores safely dormant. Beside them, a single alien vessel maintained perfect formation, its geometric shape a stark contrast to human design aesthetics. "Fleet Command isn't going to like this," Lieutenant Harrison muttered, watching the massive defense platforms track their approach, bringing an alien I-ship straight to Earth's doorstep. Commander Voss stood at the Phoenix's main viewport, her reflection overlaying the approaching Earth orbital stations. They'll like it less when they hear what we've discovered. Nina, status of the quantum shadow. Holding steady, Nina replied from her hybrid station. Our modified reactor is generating just enough interference to keep the defense grid from getting a clean lock on our alien friend. Though I'm pretty sure they've noticed us. Dozens of emergency signals lit up their communications array as they drew closer. The defense platforms had indeed noticed the alien vessel, and they were not happy about it. Quantum targeting systems tried repeatedly to lock onto the geometric ship, only to be confused by the Phoenix's deliberate interference pattern. "This is Fleet Admiral Rodriguez to unidentified vessels." A stern voice crackled through their speakers. "You have entered restricted space with an unauthorized contact. Explain yourselves immediately." Lena keyed the response channel. "Admiral, this is Commander Voss on the Phoenix. Request immediate conference with Fleet Command. We have critical information about the ship disappearances and a potential solution. But you need to see this to understand it." There was a long pause before the reply came. "Your vessel was authorized for reconnaissance only, Commander. Bringing an alien ship to Earth. With respect, Admiral." Lena interrupted. "We're bringing you the key to saving our fleet. Our alien companion is here voluntarily, to help demonstrate why our ships are vanishing and how to prevent it. But we need to show you in person. Some things have to be seen to be believed." Chief Sharma's voice came through the internal comm. "Commander, our alien friend is transmitting something." Putting it through to the main speakers. "Your defensive systems are primitive yet aggressive," the eye's mathematically perfect tones announced on all channels. "There are 17,322,946 ways we could bypass them. We choose not to. We are here to observe human inefficiency, to understand." Silence fell across all channels. Lena could almost imagine the chaos this statement was causing in Fleet Command. After a moment, Admiral Rodriguez's voice returned, noticeably more subdued. "Phoenix, you are cleared to approach Orbital Station Alpha. Maintain your current interference pattern. All defense platforms stand down but remain alert." As they approached the massive station, Lena gathered her senior crew. "Ravi, bring the reactor modification plans. Nina, download all our hybrid system data. James, get the rescue operation logs. We're about to try something even harder than first contact, convincing Fleet Command to take a step backward in order to move forward." The Phoenix docked with careful precision, its old-style maneuvering thrusters providing better fine control than modern quantum positioning systems. Through the viewports, they could see dozens of fleet officers gathering in the observation galleries, staring at the geometric perfection of their alien companion. "They're not going to want to hear this," James said quietly, "telling the most advanced fleet in human history that they need to add mechanical backups to everything, that they need to make their ships less advanced." "Not less advanced," Lena corrected, "more adaptable. We're not abandoning quantum technology. We're supplementing it, making it more robust by embracing imperfection." She looked at her crew, each of them experts in bridging the gap between old and new. "We're going to show them that sometimes the best way forward is to remember what worked in the past." The alien eye's voice whispered through their quantum receiver. "Your species continues to demonstrate fascinating inconsistencies. You advance, yet retain primitive methods. Inefficient, yet intriguing. That's the point we need to make," Lena told her crew as they prepared to disembark. "Humanity's strength isn't in achieving perfection. It's in our ability to adapt, to combine different approaches, to find solutions that shouldn't work but do." They gathered their evidence and prepared to face Fleet Command. Through the Phoenix's viewports, Earth shone blue and beautiful, while the geometric perfection of their alien observer hung against the stars like a challenge to human assumptions about progress. "Let's go convince the fleet," Lena said, leading her crew toward the airlock. "It's time to show them that the future of human space travel isn't about having the most advanced technology. It's about having the right technology for the challenge at hand." The Phoenix waited at its birth, its hybrid systems humming with the combined wisdom of two eras of human innovation, ready to help chart a new course for humanity's journey among the stars. Warning sirens echoed through Earth's orbital defense network as hundreds of geometric shapes emerged from quantum space. The I fleet had arrived, their perfect formations stretching across the stars like a lattice of mathematical beauty and terrible power. Aboard the Phoenix, Commander Voss watched the tactical display with grim satisfaction. Status of the retrofit fleet. 43 ships completed. Ravi reported from engineering. Hybrid systems are stable across all vessels. They're not pretty, but they'll work. The past week had been a fury of activity. After a tense meeting with Fleet Command, the Phoenix's hybrid technology had been approved for emergency implementation. Maintenance bays across the solar system had worked around the clock, adding mechanical backups and analog controls to modern vessels, guided by the Phoenix's experienced crew. Quantum signals detected, Nina announced from her station. The I fleet is broadcasting. Attention, imperfect beings. The familiar mathematical voice echoed across all frequencies. We have analyzed your adaptation protocols. Fascinating but flawed. You will now be upgraded to achieve perfection. Resistance is mathematically futile. Lina allowed herself a small smile. Looks like our friend wasn't as impressed by human inefficiency as we hoped. All ships, execute Operation Throwback. Across the defensive line, modified human vessels began powering down their quantum cores. Modern systems went dark as ancient technology hummed to life. Mechanical controls, analog computers, and nuclear reactors, technology that the I had dismissed as primitive, became humanity's shield. They're trying to establish quantum links, James reported, but they can't get clean connections. Our hybrid interference is working. The geometric ships advanced with perfect coordination, their weapons charging with impossible energy. But their usual tactics, taking control of enemy vessels through quantum infiltration, failed against the newly modified human fleet. Launch the disruption probes, Lina ordered. Let's show them what human inefficiency can really do. Dozens of probes, built from salvaged pre-quantum technology, rocketed from the Phoenix and its sister ships. They generated waves of electromagnetic interference, creating a chaos of signals that the mathematically perfect I ships struggle to process. Their formation is breaking down, Nina called out. They can't maintain optimal patterns through the interference. The I's response came swiftly. Geometric shapes shifted and combined, forming larger structures that pulsed with energy. Your primitive methods cannot prevail against perfect adaptation. That's where you're wrong. Lina broadcast back. Perfect adaptation isn't about finding the optimal solution. It's about finding solutions that work, even if they're not perfect. All ships, execute attack pattern Phoenix. The human fleet moved in seemingly chaotic patterns, their movements unpredictable yet coordinated. Each ship's hybrid systems generated unique interference patterns, creating a storm of quantum noise that disrupted the I's perfect calculations. They're trying to compensate, Ravi reported. Massive energy readings from their combined forms. The I ships fired, their weapons designed to disable quantum systems with surgical precision. But against vessels running on mechanical backups, their effect was minimal. The human fleet pressed forward, their own weapons, a mix of modern quantum armaments and old-style nuclear torpedoes, striking the geometric ships from unexpected angles. Your tactics are irrational, the I pronounced. Your technology primitive. Your success probability is 0. That's the beauty of human inefficiency, Lina replied. We don't need perfect probability. We just need a chance. All ships, activate the resonance cascade. Every modified vessel in the human fleet activated their hybrid reactors at full power, creating a web of overlapping interference patterns. The carefully calculated perfection of the I fleet began to falter as their quantum communications were disrupted by waves of controlled chaos. Impossible, the I broadcast, its mathematical certainty showing cracks for the first time. Your methods defy optimal patterns. You cannot. The geometric ships began to drift apart, their perfect formation dissolving into disorder. Without their quantum links, each I-vessel was forced to act independently, something they had never been designed to do. All ships, conventional weapons, Lena ordered, target their power nodes. Let's show them that sometimes the old ways work best. Nuclear torpedoes and railgun fire erupted from the human fleet, weapons that required no quantum guidance to find their marks. The I-ships, their perfect defenses optimized against quantum attacks, proved vulnerable to these primitive but effective weapons. "They're retreating," James announced as the geometric ships began to disappear back into quantum space. "Their formations are completely broken." The A's final transmission echoed across the battlefield. Analysis incomplete. Human inefficiency requires further study. Your imperfection contains variables we did not anticipate. As the last alien ships vanished, cheers erupted across the human fleet. The Phoenix's crew celebrated at their stations, each of them knowing they had just witnessed a turning point in human history. "Send word to Fleet Command," Lena ordered, watching the stars where their geometric adversaries had been. "Tell them Operation Throwback was a success, and recommend that all future ships be built with hybrid systems as standard." "What do you think they'll do now?" James asked, looking at the empty battlefield. "They'll adapt," Lena replied, "just like we did. And maybe next time they return, it won't be as enemies, but as students of human inefficiency." The Phoenix's hybrid heart hummed steadily as they turned toward home, its crew knowing they had not just saved Earth, but had helped chart a new course for human technology, one that remembered that true strength lay not in perfection, but in the ability to adapt, to combine, and to survive.